On any given day, 800 million women are menstruating worldwide. Monthly bleeding is a sign of health and reproductive maturity. But due to a widespread tradition of shame and silence around menstruation in India, millions of women have a poor understanding of their menstrual cycles and menstrual hygiene, and pass this culture of silence onto their daughters. Most women use old rags for menstrual protection. But due to the prevalence of certain superstitions, the cloth that they use is not hygienically cared for. Traditionally, people all over the world have put their clothing and dishes in direct sunlight because it is nature's most abundant sanitizer. But there is a widespread prevalent belief that it is a bad omen for men to even see menstrual cloth drying in the sun. Most women, therefore, are secretive about washing the menstrual cloth, and they typically put it to dry in hidden corners of the house and under the bed. Cloth used in such conditions breeds germs and creates infections, which when untreated leads to serious diseases. In recent years, disposable sanitary napkins have been presented as a solution to these avoidable health risks. Advertisements from multinational companies in particular have presented their product as the only healthy alternative. But most women are not aware of the hidden costs of these products.
In India, there are 355 million women of reproductive age, but only 12%, or 42.6 million women actually use disposable sanitary pads. Many government agencies and non-profit organizations are trying to encourage more women to use sanitary pads. Disposable sanitary napkins are a multi-billion-dollar market in India. Many corporations are trying to make the disposable pad cheap and appealing, but such initiatives, without looking at the product's life cycle, are hugely short-sighted. So the 42.6 million women that use sanitary pads in India throw away over 7 million sanitary napkins every year. But imagine this, if every menstruating woman in India would use a sanitary pad, India would have to deal with 58 billion sanitary pads every year. A commercial disposable pad is not biodegradable, as it's largely made of plastic. It has been estimated that the plastic component of an average disposable pad is equivalent to about 4 average-sized plastic bags. That means that every menstruating woman is throwing away the equivalent of about 50 plastic bags every month. So imagine if every woman in India was using a pad and throwing it away, that would be 58 billion pads every year. And that would occupy a space of about 288 hectares in a landfill. Now these sanitary pads would sit there contaminating the environment, spreading germs, and for hundreds of years.
In India, one commonly finds disposable pads tossed onto the roadside. Most end up as part of unsegregated household waste for rag pickers to sort. Incineration is now being recommended as a method of disposal. But most sanitary napkins contain dioxins due to a chlorine bleaching process. These dioxins, which are very harmful for health, are released into the air and soil when used napkins are burnt under temperatures lower than 800 degrees Celsius. As of yet, India lacks the infrastructure to ensure safe incineration of napkins. Most commercially produced sanitary napkins contain a chemical component called super absorbent gel that is designed to absorb fluids. When flushed down the toilet, the napkin continues to bloat as it makes its way through the underground drains and open channels and clogs up the sewers.
Ladies உபயோகிக்கிற பொருளால napkin விஸ்பர் இதெல்லாம் உபயோகிக்கிறதுனால என்ன வந்து பிளாஸ்டிக் napkin அது கூட அதுக்கு உபயோகிக்கிறதுனால கீழே அதாவது காக்காங்கெல்லாம் எடுத்து போடுறாங்க அவங்க கரெக்டான டஸ்ட்பின்ல போட மாட்டேன்றாங்க இல்லைன்னா வாஷ் பேஷன்ல தள்ளி அப்படியே தண்ணியில் விட்டுறாங்க அது நேராக போயிட்டு டைனேஜில் மாட்டதில்லை இந்த ஹவுஸ் கீப்பிங் வேலை செய்வாங்க அத்தனை பேர் கீழே இறங்கி வேலை செய்கிறதுனால அவங்களுக்கு தேவையில்லாமல் பிரச்சனைங்க இந்த ஆஸ்மா கம்ப்ளைண்ட்டு டிபி அட்டாக்கு கையில் ஸ்கின் ப்ராப்ளம் இதெல்லாம் வருதுன்னா கண்ணு கூட ஒரு சிலருக்கு போகிற வாய்ப்பு ஒன்று திடீர்னு இறந்து போகவும் வாய்ப்பு ஏற்படுது அந்த கேஸ் அடிக்கிறதுனால இறந்தும் போயிடுறாங்க ஒரு சில இடத்துல நிறைய நடந்திருக்கு கவர்மெண்ட் இதுலேயும் நடந்திருக்கு ப்ரைவேட்லேயும் நடந்திருக்கு நிதானமாக சொல்லுங்கள்
வேலைக்கு போகிறதுலேருந்து 8 வருஷமாக போய் வேலை செஞ்சீங்க
ஓகே கொஞ்சம் நிமிஷம்
8 வருஷமாக வேலை செஞ்சீங்க அதுக்கப்புறம் உடம்பு சரியில்லாமல் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் அட்மிட் ஆகி ஜிஹெச் ஜென்ரல் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் அட்மிட் ஆகி 1 மாதமாக வீட்டில் 8 மாதம் ஆச்சு வேலைக்கு போகாமல் கஷ்டமாக மூச்சு வாங்குறது கேஸ் எஃபெக்ட் ஆகி ஜாண்டியேஷன் வந்து இல்லை கிட்னிக்கு லிவர் அட்டாக் ஆகி அதனால் வேலைக்கு போகாமல் வீட்டில் இருந்து டேப்லெட் யூஸ் பண்ணின்னு வீட்டில் தான் இருக்கிறேன். தச்சமாக போன வாரத்தில் போனேன், காசு இல்லாமல் போனேன், 150 ரூபா கொடுத்தாங்க. வந்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் மறுபடியும் டேப்லெட் யூஸ் பண்ணின்னு டேப்லெட்.
Are there product alternatives? Actually, yes. Most women in India are still not aware that there are other safe options. Women can now make choices that are in alignment and care for their bodies, for each other, and for the body of the earth.
Sanitary napkins made solely out of natural wood, pulp, or cotton are biodegradable and hence eco-friendly. In recent years, India has seen a spurt of small-scale manufacturers producing largely biodegradable disposable napkins made mostly of wood pulp. Brands include Azadi, Lovely, Breeze, etc. Most of them are not entirely biodegradable, for they have a plastic leak-proof layer and a plastic field-dry top layer. In terms of environmental impact, they are a tad better than the commercial disposable pads, as the plastic content is less. In terms of human health, however, these napkins still contain dioxins as they are bleached to look white. If the main component of wood pulp is grown with the use of pesticides, then these napkins can also contain other toxic chemicals, such as furans. Therefore, these biodegradable napkins should not be burnt, nor should they be flushed down the toilet, for they can still cause blockages. Ideally, the plastic layers of the used pad should be removed, and the rest of the napkin should be wrapped in paper and landfilled. Another alternative are tampons. Tampons, because of their much smaller size, are more eco-friendly than commercial sanitary napkins. At present, the risk of the toxic shock syndrome has been greatly reduced due to new manufacturing protocols, but it cannot be entirely ruled out. Tampons are inserted into the body and absorb the menstrual flow. They are popular for they allow for greater freedom of movement and for sports such as swimming. The product that generates the least amount of waste in usage is a menstrual cup. In India, it is called the She cup. It is made out of medical grade silicone. Like the tampon, it is inserted into the body. You fold it and insert it, and then it opens up to collect the menstrual flow. Menstrual cups have a capacity roughly 3 times greater than a super absorbent tampon. Whenever needed, you pull out the cup, empty it, and rinse it. It can then be reused immediately. 1 cup is thus sufficient for a full cycle, and with proper care, a single menstrual cup can last for 10 years or more. Another reusable and highly eco-friendly choice is the cloth pad. Cloth pads are a modern innovation of the traditional practice of using cloth. Gunj, Uber, and Ecofemme market cloth pads in different models that cater to the different segments of Indian society, including the rural and urban poor. An Ecofemme cloth pad functions like a disposable pad. It has wings to keep them securely in place, contains a leak-proof barrier, and they have an absorbent core of brushed flannel cotton. As with the traditional use of cloth pads are viable only if they are washed with soap in clean water, dried in the sun, and stored in a clean place. Ecofemme has a customer base that is half in India and half international.
The production of cloth washable pads can be undertaken by rural women using a simple sewing machine, and it can enable them to generate a living wage. Modern cloth washable pads are considered comparable, if not superior, to disposable pads in terms of comfort and ease of movement. They are also considered more healthy, being made of natural materials.
Give women full information about different products. Empower them to openly talk about Masika, their monthly period, and have the freedom of choice.